Geotagged images are very common. In fact, if you have photographs on your mobile phone, your iPhone, or your Android, those images are most likely already geotagged. We can use story maps, specifically the map tour immersive block inside of story maps, to create a really cool interactive map in a pretty easy way out of your geotagged images. In other words, the map is smart enough to read the latitude longitude in the header of your images and use them to position markers on the map. So we'll take a quick look first at how to collect the images into a central location on your computer, and this is just one way to do it. And then secondly, we'll take a look at how to use the map tour immersive block in story maps to actually create a geotagged map. Your geotagged photos in story maps, you first need to collect your images in a central place. So maybe you have a folder on your desktop of your computer. I happen to be on a Macintosh. There are tools on the PC side that do very similar things. These images were brought into this folder in two different ways, one by texting and the other by email. So I want to show you that it can produce different results depending on how the images are being brought to your computer. Firstly, especially for those that use iPhones, the native format is this HEIC format, hike format, and those formats are not, as of May 2026, natively supported in the Story Maps tool for uploading. So what we need to do is convert it, which is what I've done up here. Now on a Mac, there's an application called Preview, which is probably your best bet. I'll go ahead and show you what the converted image looks like. We're going to open it up. It's cropped a little here in terms of being outside the recorded space, but that's okay. It's some palm trees in Anaheim. And this information window is something I would recommend turning on in Preview. It's under Tools, and you can enable it, and when you do, this info window is particularly helpful because you'll notice that under the info button we have General, EXIF, GPS, and TIFF. And these are all ways in which metadata can be displayed that is captured inside the image. So in this particular case, the GPS link shows us the GPS information is attached to this photograph, and that's good. That's what we want so that we can make these images a part of our story map. So I'll show you one other example. Now this image was texted over to my desktop, and one other example here, this image of the moon, which I need to drag down a little bit. This image of the moon was emailed to my desktop. And in fact, from my iPhone, I emailed it to my desktop computer. And in the process on the iPhone, I allowed it to downsize the image. So this is a small size image, which would be smart normally because it'll save space when we upload it to Story Maps. Because of the way I transferred the image using email, however, it stripped out the location data, and it may depend on the type of email tool you're using. It may depend on your iPhone settings. It might even depend on your email service provider, or even how you're receiving your email. If you're, for example, emailing it to a second account on a second machine using a second email client. So really what you need to do is figure out a workflow that works based on the equipment and the software that you use, and then check it using a known tool like Preview on the Mac to determine whether or not the GPS data are intact in the metadata of the image. Ultimately, once you have a folder on your desktop of the images that you want to map, from here, it's a piece of cake. Now that we have a collection of images assembled in a folder somewhere on our computer, we're going to go ahead and create that geotagged map inside of storymap. And to do this, I've just set up a blank story map. I've just added a title. And what I want to do is add a new block. So I'm going to scroll down to Map Tour. And within Map Tour, I have three options. For this particular demonstration, we're just going to upload photos. So I'll click on that, and it's going to quickly tell me to select the photos that I want to add to my map tour. It tells me I can use JPEG, PNG, GIF, and there's a few other less common types. So I'll browse for files, and in this case, I have three images, so I'm going to press my Shift key and click to add the second and third images, and I'll press Upload, and you'll see thumbnails appear, and I'll hit Add 3. And what's going to happen in the background is Story Maps is going to build our map tour based on those photos. Story Maps is going to let me pick out how I want my map tour layout to appear. Essentially, I can either use a guided model or the Explorer model, and then I can choose whether or not I want the media or the map to be more at hand. And then, of course, down in the Explorer section, I can either use a list or a card style display of my media. So for the moment, I will go with sort of the traditional map focused approach, and I'll hit save. And now you can see that I have three dots on my map, and that's what I uploaded was three images. The first image is of me in Georgia, and the second image is of a tree in the Kansas City area. And then that third image is of some palm trees around Anaheim, California. So we've just uploaded those three geotagged images into the Map Tour immersive block in Story Maps, and it has created um, our block for us. So if I wanted to finish this up, I could hit publish, and I'll keep it as private for the demonstration. You might want to set it to organization, for example. And as it finishes publishing, we'll just take a quick look at how it looks in its final form. So again, all I've put on here is the title and the map tour block, and there are my photos. And you'll note the map is moving to the location. Now, if I want, I can add some additional information to each of those blocks. I go back to Edit Story, and as I scroll down here, you'll notice I can name this. Um, um, and so when I put a title and a description beneath those images, those titles and descriptions will carry through to our final product. So the nice thing about this approach is that as you add photos to your collection, you can repeat the process and simply add new photos to your map tour. So now you can tell that on my first image where I added a title and a brief description, I can see that information here, plus I have a little pop-up over here with a title on it. I can also click on the points to jump to these other geotagged images. So, in a nutshell, that is using uploaded photos in the map tour, using geotagged images, and producing a story map.